Why do you think you were fired? What is the
reason?
The reason from your perspective?
From my perspective, they said I mismanaged 6 million on. They don't like Lumka in the office of the minister. You know, the advisor don't like Lumka, and I've been hearing stories that they are saying that mina and you know that thing that they
carrying
do,
a baggage.
That thing that they do in the ANC of camps and all of those things. Yeah. So it then comes back and it plays itself out even in government.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not supporting ministers. I am there to be loyal to South Africans. And everything that I've been doing is my loyalty to South Africa.
Are you saying they looked for a charge? They just scrambled for a charge, an extra charge?
They've been scrambling for even my suspension.
Were you at the stage aware that they're out to get you?
Yes, I was, because remember, my colleague had already told me.
Do you want to be reinstated?
No, I don't think I would want to be reinstated. But if I'm given a chance to come back to be the DJ, I will do wonders there. This country does not have a plan for an 18-year-old who's transitioning into adulthood.
King David Studio Podcast.
I was interviewed for one of our articles in the department, our internal news site. Yeah. One of the things that I said was that I feel that the department has given me a lot. Yes. It has invested in me, first through Batabile Dlamini, because she was intentional in making sure that I learn, I do so many things, and I understand how to work with people and how to respect people, and just teaching me about social development and what we are about. I leave the department with 2 degrees, an honors and a master's.
You say, did you walk in without them?
No, I didn't have. I had,
really?
Yes, I didn't have. So I'm walking out now with a master's degree by the department, paying it for me. Wow. So that investment, I think I could never have gotten it anyway, except for that place. Yeah, because that place is where, the change for South Africans' lives could potentially be. But we don't have people who are strategic enough, who really deeply care for South Africans, and we are always ticking boxes. And I've always said that the Department of Social Development is about the human development of a country. So if this country were to get social development correct, this country would go much better. It would be much, much more better.
You're saying we tick boxes. Give me an example of a tick box type of...
tick box is that we are paying 13 million grants. Okay. A tick box is that we are busy with that. But that department is about the development of and the investment in human resources of a country. And I guess we are sleeping on it. We are sleeping as a country.
With a huge budget.
Yeah, it's a huge budget that could change a lot, in South Africa, if we were to make sure that the right people are there, the squabbles are not there, and we are putting people first, and we genuinely want to change the trajectory of this country, and that lies in that department. Yes.
I want to start and greet you formally and saying thank you for agreeing to coming here on a Sunday. This is like a day or two after you got that letter. Or did you get it and immediately they said, "Pum, go tuk"?
No, what happened was that maybe we'll go deeper into it as we are in the interview. It appeared now that they were running a parallel process to the one that was formal with the commissioner, where on the 22nd or 23rd, my lawyers and their lawyers went to the commissioner, and it was supposed to be a start of my disciplinary hearing.
Okay, that was happening.
That was happening.
Okay.
Yes. And when that was happening, they had said that we will now meet on the 2nd of November. It was postponed to the 2nd of November. Having postponed to the 2nd of November, we were going to change bundles.
Okay, yes.
And we got the bundles from their lawyers on Monday, not knowing that there is another one that was happening that I did not know about it.
Which was a fast-tracked process.
With a fast-tracked process.
Yeah.
Whereby they added a charge on the charges that were already there. And I get to hear about this charge on Friday, that there was a charge that was added. Because remember, if they were genuine and were not trying to fast-track something, they would have spoken to my lawyers, because both the teams were talking to each other. So there should have been a letter that was gone to say, okay, this one is done wrong. We've added this, and then that could then also then decided to add as another charge, so
That's
that we can answer for it when we go on the 2nd of November.
Basically, another page in the bundle.
Yes, basically another page in the bundle.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm out on Friday, normal day, because now I'm at home. I go for brunch.
Suspended.
Yes. I go for brunch and I come back and I'm told that there's a letter that has been that was delivered at my place, and I hear this while I'm still out. So I finished my business and then I go home. When I get home, I find this letter. This letter that was signed on the 14th of October by the DG. Supposedly, it's supposed to come to me so that I can prepare or maybe reply to this new charge now.
Yeah.
Yes. So the deadline for this response is the day I get this.
Yeah, my thought.
Yes, is the day I get this.
But it was written a few days prior.
It was few days. But the beauty about this few days prior is that the DJ has signed it on the 14th. On the 15th, he gets his own letter.
Yeah, I know that. We'll come to that. That's very strange.
On the 15th, he gets his own letter. So it may have been that then he decided that, you know what, I don't know what happened. But I get it on the 17th, and I read this charge. This charge says, I violated my security clearance.
Okay.
When you violate something, we would tell you that you have violated section what, or this policy or this what. It just says, I violated my security clearance.
No detail.
And the detail is that I shared that they have not expunged records of children who are in conflict with the law.
Okay.
And that's a fact.
Yes.
They have not expunged records. So there are many young South Africans who may have committed a crime in their early years and served their sentences. And somebody is not there to just expunge this thing so that these children can be able to have a second chance.
Yes.
So
you've communicated that in the past. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've communicated that, and they say that I wrote about it without authorization.
Are they correct?
But I did write about it, yes, after I was suspended, and if they were hearing and they were very caring about these children, there are probably hundreds of thousands of young people who can't get jobs because they committed a crime when they were 13, 14, 15, and they served their sentences, but now they can't get anything because somebody's signature is not on that record for it to be expunged. So that was the charge.
Let me ask, what motivated you doing that during your suspension?
Because I was writing. I was writing the things that have been happening anyway.
Are these things that are just in your head and you feel it's time to just write them, or you have the time?
No. I have the time now to write them.
Yeah.
And I have the time to talk about them.
Okay.
And if we were to check, and they must come and say I'm wrong. They must come and say we are expunging records.
The reason I'm asking this is a lot to do with why didn't you attend to this matter while you were still working?
Remember, I'm a communicator. And there are people who are supposed to do the work. There's a DG who must sign for the records to be expunged.
100%.
There are people in provinces who must make sure that these records are there. So my job would be just to communicate that they have been done.
Done, yes.
Yes.
After they're done.
They are done. Yes. And it's not that I have never spoken about these things. I used to challenge my colleagues, which I think is some of the things that that may also have happened now, you know. I used to ask certain questions. I used to ask certain things. If you looked at that presentation that I made to Parliament, I pushed for that too.
The mind-blowing presentation.
Yes, the mind-blowing presentation. So, if we are doing those things right, that presentation is telling you that every year this country churns out more than 600,000 young people from school. But this country does not have a plan for an 18-year-old who's transitioning into adulthood. So we'll never deal with gender-based violence. We'll never deal with unemployment because the only plan that is concrete that we have as a country is just taking our children to tertiary institutions. And we know that the tertiary institutions can't absorb all those children.
That's it, yeah.
If you looked at now, when Umalusi pronounced, now they said there's about 700,000 kids who are in matric.
Imagine if they all passed.
They will pass.
Yes.
Most of them will pass.
Then what happens next?
Then what happens next? So this is why I'm saying that if we were to have that department working properly, this country would be a much more better country.
Are you saying they looked for a charge? They just scrambled for a charge, an extra charge?
They've been scrambling.
Okay.
For even my suspension. Because they talk about the AG report. And the AG report now is out. People can go and peruse it. People must, all the things that they've said. And I so wish that people had time. Remind
us all, what did they say in relation to you and the AG report?
They said I mismanaged 6 million on NSPIS, this very program that I took to Parliament. I actually asked Parliament for it to be funded. I'm sure you saw it, where I was saying that we need to make sure that we fund. And I was actually saying to the parliamentarians, I need them to advocate with us for this funding.
So they're saying you took 6 million.
I wish I did.
And wasted
I
it.
Had. Yes,
and
I
wasted
wish
it.
I had.
But how do they justify it when you hear what their story?
No. I don't know.
How do they justify the charge?
It was not. Remember, it was the reason for suspension.
Yes.
But in the charge, those things are not there. Yes.
In the final dismissal.
In the final charges. Remember, they suspended me and they said AG, they said DSD-TV, they said all of these things. When the charge sheet came, it only came about my interviews with the media and my post and my everything else. So none of the things of the AG formed even part of my charges.
How did you procure, and I asked this from their perspective, the 6 million rands project? Were you directly involved in its procurement? Was it a waste of a charge? Was it a waste of resources? Was it a necessary?
Where is it? I don't know. Remember, I was acting for a year in that position. And I don't even know, because that particular program is not funded. Which is why I took it to Parliament.
How did it happen then?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out where is the 6 million they are talking about of NSPIS. Because there is no. Also, we have a platform of NSPIS where we are trying to integrate this database, so that we can be able to account for every child in this country.
Essentially saying, Mount 30 metric, you are, and your parents do not have the money to take you to school, and you're already earning a grant, you don't necessarily have to apply. You're already in the system.
Not just that.
Yeah.
if this platform and this program was supported thoroughly, we would be able to account for every child in this country, because we would be with health when they get when they're born.
Yes.
We get from Home Affairs. Now I'm just giving you the when the child starts at school, when they are sick, their vaccination things, when they drop out of school, when they're arrested, everything. So that when the matric results come, we are able to tell you, for instance, what happened to the boys that have dropped on the road. How many girls in these 12 years were pregnant and came back?
Got you.
So you would hear the Minister of Basic Education saying that more girls are matriculating, more boys are not making it to matric. You would hear her say that there is a slump on girls when they get to grade 10, but they pick up and they pass grade 12. That tells you that some of them fall pregnant and they come to school. But with the boys, we were unable to tell you whether they just decided that
what is their reason?
What is their reason? So if this program was, we cared about this program, we would be able to account for everything. And if a child does not come to school, it would be able to tell social development, and a social worker must go and find out what has happened to that child. For instance, if the child dies, or right now we are unable to account for children from when they are born up until their life is at 18, which is why it was very important for me to take it there, because I felt that it is now time for us to start looking at the transition of a child when they get to 18 years old. So I don't know where this 6 million is. I wish I knew how it was procured.
Yeah, basically say you spend 6 million to make that type of research.
I don't know.
Tell me why you were fired. Why do you think you were fired? What is the reason? The reason from your perspective?
From my perspective, funny that the Friday before I got my letter on the Monday, a colleague of mine called me and said, said to me, he got a phone call from the DG, and the DG was sort of maybe trying to find something about anything about me. Anything wrong about me. So he asked him about DSD TV. I don't want us to talk about DSD TV and why it was started. So, and he said to him, there's nothing wrong there, DSD TV. You won't find anything there on DSD TV. And there's one thing about me, I file. I make sure that reports are done. I make sure, because I understand that this is taxpayers' money. So, and he told him that, no, you're not going to find anything there. You can go, the AG had already audited this, the DSD TV the previous year, and they didn't find anything. Yes, and so he says, hey, they don't like Lumka in the office of the minister, the advisor, not like Lumka. And I've been hearing stories that they're saying that Mina and that thing that
so
they
carrying
do,
a baggage.
that thing that they do in the ANC of camps and all of those things. Yeah. So it then comes back and it plays itself out even in government.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and I was saying, no, they can bring it on. It's okay. I don't have anything to hide. And the thing is that I cannot erase Bathabile and her contribution to my career. I can't. Yeah. Just as I cannot erase the Star, City Press,
True,
and all the other, newspapers that I worked for, because they are part of my career.
True.
So people can wish it away, but I can't.
Yeah.
I went to school with those people, some of them. They were my colleagues at some point, they were my bosses at some point. So I have a history with them.
Including Bathabile.
And I will not not talk about her positively, because I am here because of her. Yeah. she didn't know me from a bar soap. She saw that there was talent here. She liked me, and in that we worked well together. Not that there were no disagreements, but we worked well together. She made sure that I was exposed. She made sure that I knew how to do things, the smallest things, how you present yourself, all of those things. She's motherly,
Yes.
and most importantly, she showed me and taught me the importance of putting people first.
Yes.
And I want to say that in the department during her time, in December, we never closed. Because she would say, how do you go to Christmas when other people, are not having Christmas? And during her time, I never had time in December because that was the time that she said, you must be in the streets. She worked us off.
You must deliver Christmas to the people.
You must deliver Christmas to people. Not only Christmas, but also those children must go to school in January.
Yeah. Oh,
You see?
yes.
Yes.
The preparation.
The preparation for that. So she taught me those things, and we used to stay in the rural areas so that we see how people eat, what they eat, how they live, and have experience of the people, because her belief was that you can't write a policy in Pretoria and if you don't know what poverty looks like and smells like.
Can write a policy in an air-conditioned room.
In an air-conditioned room.
Yes.
And she made us be part of those things. And even important meetings, she would just take me along and say, go there, listen. When I come out, why were you quiet there? Why didn't you ask a question? You can't come to me without asking a question. You don't go to a meeting and you don't ask a question. What kind of person are you? So she was that kind of a person. So I owe my adult career and its success to what she taught me. And whether we like it or not, she forms part of that career development. Yeah.
Are you saying then that, and I asked this very simply, maybe you mentioned that too much? Because I'm trying to understand,
No.
how do you get to a place where the new minister doesn't like you? As they said, but turned up a minister's office. How do they get to that point? Because you're just another employee in the system.
I also say in my letter that to my government colleagues, we always want to be in the good books of ministers, backstab one another, speak about each other. And David, Mina, I don't want to be liked. I had a father who taught me very well that I am not in a popularity contest, So if you don't like me, it's well. If you like me, then okay. So, and I think my personality as well is that I have a very strong personality. I speak, I do all sorts of things. So in any setting, and I think my journalism background, you can do anything you want to do.
It teaches you to ask questions.
It teaches you not just to ask questions, it teaches you that you can speak to anyone, And
be critical, even to people that are senior.
Exactly.
Yes.
And be critical to people that are senior.
Yeah.
So I found that in the department, the junior officials appreciated that so much. And but the colleagues that I was on par with, they did not see it that way. They saw it as a threat. They saw that she's bullying. They saw, all of those things. And I don't mind those labels. You can say whatever you want to say, but listen to the content that I'm giving you.
Yeah.
And where there are things that I disagree about, I will always disagree with you, whether you are the DG or anybody, So there's always been that. And I really say this with a good heart to my colleagues. The ministers have the power, but they don't have authority.
Explain it.
Yeah. They
in
have
practice?
the power.
Yes.
They have the power to tell you that these are the policies. And at the end of the day, you are the one that can be able to say yes or no on this thing. That is why we have a separation of the executive and administration. And it is that line that we sometimes don't know how to maneuver. And public service officials have authority. When they don't want to sign your things, they don't
won't
sign.
want-
Yes.
yes.
Things cannot move there if people don't want to move. That's the authority that they have. And I think had the DG exercises authority, we would not be here.
Question is, how did the DG get his job? But let's carry on. We'll
Okay.
get to that.
Yes.
Because I sit here and wonder, and it's a point that you raised very clearly in the letter. You noted that there's a purge of sorts. There's a professional purge. And you attach the woman side of it, the gender part of this of this purge as well. Explain that for us.
It has been so amazing that people who don't know me, right as I was walking through now, I got a message from somebody who says to me, I work for an SOE and I'm in this protected battle with my employer at the CSMA. I've virtually lost everything. I have not even told my mother she's 8 years old, just as I was walking here.
Whoa. Jeez.
I don't know this person, but they felt the need to say, you are one in many that are quiet. They're not saying anything because they're afraid that they will lose their jobs.
But it's a justified fear.
It's a justified fear, but at what cost? At the cost of South Africa, at the cost of accountability, at the cost of not moving this country forward.
In your letter, you noted something also, the fear of how you're going to feed your family. That is a genuine fear, particularly in these times that we live in.
No, I'm not saying that I am. I'm just saying that we then are forced to do things because we are worried about where the next meal. So that thing that is about bread and butter issues, it prevents us from being able to stand up for what people believe in. You know, I always say there is something that Justice Moseneke said when the Isidimeni thing happened. I remember this particular time he said, so you gave your minister, the MEC, the power to decide. And he said, as public service officials, do you understand when you sign a document, you are signing a legal document? And that thing never left my mind when he said that, and I still remember it very vividly. That was a lesson for government officials, and I would casually mention it to my junior staff. Even when you do specification for an event, for instance, that the marquee that is there is certified by an engineer to have the certificate, just in case something happens. You see?
And things have happened.
And things happen,
Yes.
and things happen. So I would then say to them, write thoroughly what did not happen and what happened. Because should something happen and a marquee fall on people, they would ask, where was the engineering certificate? And it would come back to us. So because of those things, we then forget that we are the ones who sign. We are the ones who say yes to things and approve things. And there's been like I'm talking now, there's been an interesting thing that has been playing now, even with my suspension. I've noticed that it is the DG who's signing, not my immediate senior.
Who is?
Mr. Xolile Brukwe.
Whose role is what is their role?
DDG Corporate Support
got
Services.
you. All right.
So
all these must be his signature.
It should have been his signature. because I report to him. Ordinarily, when there is a charge, it is your supervisor who charges you on that. So these very same things so I've been noticing that, and also in this recent charge, it's the GG who's charged me. It is the DG who wants representations of me to him. It is the DG who ultimately dismisses me.
Yeah, very confusing. But let's stay with this little thing of officials and their authority, because you have been threatened. There's a WhatsApp you received that spoke of about AK-47.
Yes.
So that the world has changed a lot, particularly in South Africa. There's genuine fear, not only of losing your job, but also
of dying.
Exactly.
Yeah. I needed to report that because I don't know what is planned. And I don't know how far things can go. Yes, last week I did receive a phone call first from this guy who's a parliamentary liaison officer of the minister.
Yamaz.
Yamaz, yes, yeah, I know him. And we've had quite a good relationship with him. But he's in the office of the minister anyway. So he calls me and he says to me that I'm treading on thin ice. And he says to me, when you are looking at where you are, do you think you are on a danger zone? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he says, do you think you are on amber or green or red? So so he says that. And then we have this conversation and I say to him, I say to him, I am not going to be swayed, So at the end, he then swears at me and then goes then to update his status about me, that he has called me and then he will drive her with an AK-47. And the funny thing is that I didn't first see that. Some other people saw it and they screenshot that and they sent it to me. And I went to see his WhatsApp status and I screenshot it. You see?
What did you do after in relation to him? Call him?
No.
Because you know this person.
I didn't call him. I then went to open a case at the Senton police station, and I am speaking with the investigating officer on it. I don't know what they've done, but it is on the table at SAPS.
And it happened during your suspension? It
happens during my suspension.
What triggered it, in your opinion?
I don't know. He just called, and it was in the morning last Sunday, and he just called.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're saying you were fired because there's no liking of you in the minister's office. And there's no liking because of your strong opinions, strong personality. Let's simplify it that way. However, everything you read in relation to your firing seems to start from the New York trip.
Yes, it started from the New York trip.
Okay.
In terms of in the public domain. Yes. It started from the New York trip, and that New York trip is an annual trip that is taken by people who are in the space of women empowerment, governments and departments.
Okay.
They go to the Commission on the Status of Women at the United Nations. And there was a delegation from social development that went to New York, and all the time, members of parliament would always ask about trips of ministers, how much was spent on so many things. So there had been questions of other departments. There was something on the health, there was something on the president, deputy president.
There's always a question.
Deputy president. And then there was...
there's a minister that was fired for traveling.
Yes. So then there were these questions from parliament, and they responded to these questions in parliament. They responded thoroughly to parliament, and they showed how much was spent by each person and where accommodation, transfer costs, because that question required that detail. So it went to parliament. And there are journalists who are stationed at parliament who are parliamentary correspondents. So maybe that time it was the season of travel expenses for the new ministers since they have started.
Okay.
So they got hold of that, and it was there.
They got hold of the response,
The
or they got
response.
hold of the budget
response.
breakdown.
The response,
Yes.
the entire response,
Okay.
and obviously,
which included everything in
yes,
it. Yeah.
and of course the issue is the budget breakdown, and it was 3 million, and one particular official had spent more than 1 million just herself on that.
On what?
Transfer cost, hotel, so many other things.
What?
So obviously it's a story.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
interesting.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
And they wanted to know why and everything. And now I am the one person who receives these things, these questions from the media. And I have to advise, I have to see and make sure that we reply to the media. Okay. And then send these questions to the DG and to finance, and also the players in the question.
So your response is factual.
The response is factual.
Yeah.
Yes. So I then get a call from the DG, very edgy. He says to me that where do journalists get these questions? Then I'm like, do you understand that there's a parliamentary monitoring group? Do you know that these questions are public documents where you can pick them up and you can write about them, And I could hear the tone, that the tone is maybe saying I gave this to the journalists.
Yes, you started this.
Yeah. So, and I told him that, and then the Sunday Times received its reply. And that reply, it was very detailed.
From you?
From the department. After which
I deliberately ask if it's from you because your role is to communicate.
Remember, it would be done and I would have to look at it now.
Okay.
So upon looking at it, I say this response is not necessary.
Okay.
You can be able to leave some of the things here. Because if you are going to leave it like this, they're going to have a field day. I could already see the headline.
So you were playing the head of someone who is trying to also help.
Yes.
So the communication doesn't get out of control.
It doesn't get, because at the end of the day, it's going to come to me. I will be the one who must go there and defend this thing.
Did they listen to you?
No, they didn't listen to me. The response left to the Sunday Times. The Sunday Times then, because they saw those questions, they come back and they say, which hotels? Which airline? Because they could see that this is a huge bill. And I say, don't respond to that.
Yo.
Why? I said, don't respond to it, because once you respond to that, they're going to go on Google and find this hotel, what it
and
does,
look at its price.
and look at its price, and look at what it offers and everything. And then the story is great. I'm not listening to the response goes. The Sunday Times.
Why were they ignoring you?
It is this thing that I'm telling about you, Buti, Lumka. No. So, the Sunday Times did exactly that. They saw how much it is, they saw the services, they saw its positioning, they went to speak to a travel agent. If you want to stay in this hotel, how much? Also, they went to check prices of airlines. So it was a big story. And because there was one person who had used more than 1 million, that became the biggest story, because she is the #1 social worker in the country.
Yo.
So it was a field day for the Sunday Times.
I'm trying also to equally understand how they didn't listen to you. However, you are the one who got the chopping block, so to speak.
Yeah. Yes. So Sunday Times publishes on Sunday. Monday, I'm going on with my work. I'm in a meeting. I'm called, that you must come to the office. I say to the DG, no, I can't come to the office. I'm busy chairing a meeting here. So he says, no, come to the meeting, even if you Uber. No, I'm not going to do that. Whatever is urgent there, if no one is dying, it can wait for me. And also, my mother was still here in Johannesburg. I have my mother who is here. She's gone to the clinic, so I need to make sure that when she comes back, I know what. So I refused to go. So in hindsight now, they wanted to give me that letter so that I can walk the walk of shame, take the walk of shame, go to security, be escorted. I think that's what they wanted.
So that's the day that it should have happened.
That it should have happened, yes. So then... at the end of the day, then they send me the suspension. This suspension says I'm suspended because of the AG's findings. And
the 6 million.
Yeah, the 6 million and the mismanagement of the IJS program. And I'm like, I found these programs running there. But the thing that I did about these programs, I just took them to the next level because I felt that we don't understand the importance of IT. We think IT is about computers and giving us our email passwords when they expire. But there's a lot of what's happening in IT. And I would say the future is IT. And I told them in my 12 months of acting, if I have to learn something new, I'm going to learn what's going on at IT because I believe that for us to be able to take the country forward, that data is very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I then find, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. NISPIS, I took it to Parliament. It was unfunded. The IJS program, I've never procured anything there, and anything that was assisted by the IJS is this very DSD-TV, which they put it under their change management program, because that program of the IJS is about digitizing and all of those things.
Got you.
Yes, and they had received approval as part of their change management program. So in my head, I did not understand what they were talking about. So I say, no, by all means, it's fine. And there was already a preliminary report by the AG. I'm not there.
Your name is not mentioned.
No,
or your department is not mentioned.
Or my designation is not mentioned there.
Yeah.
And I was taken aback, but I was like, okay, this is what it is.
Were you at the stage aware that they're out to get you?
Yes, I was, because remember, my colleague had already told me.
Yeah, that they are doing, they're looking for a mistake.
Looking for a mistake, yes.
Yeah.
So, and this has been the modus operandi of this minister, if you look at what has happened. Same thing that has happened with the SASSA CEO. They just want to frustrate people, go to the courts and dry you out so that you don't. I'm not going to.
Are you likely to contest this further?
No, I am. We are contesting it further.
Yeah.
We will go back to the Bargaining Council and now contest this dismissal.
With what aim? Naturally to correct it, but largely what are you hoping to achieve?
My name is the only thing that I have. Yes. It's just that my name and nothing else. I mean...
Would you want to be reinstated?
No, I don't think I would want to be reinstated. But if I'm given a chance to come back to be the DJ, I will do wonders there.
That's a different one. That is a hot potato.
Yes.
Would you be a DJ under this minister?
No.
How was your relationship with this minister on one-on-one?
We've never had a one-on-one, by the way.
Never said.
Never sat like this. We've never had a one-on-one. I would see her in a meeting with other people. I would see her at events, but never like this.
Is that unusual that you've never had it?
Very unusual.
Why is that?
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm the head of communication. So your head of communication, your legal, your DG, are the people that you must always be with.
At least once a week.
At least once a week, or whatever thing that goes out for the parliamentary questions, for anything, because this is about your reputation. Yeah. But I've never been a person who's interested in wanting to be liked.
By ministers.
Yeah, but yes, if she wanted to be, get me closer, it's fine. I knew my authority. My authority is that nothing is going to happen on communication without me.
Did you then earlier on pick up that this is going to be a different relationship? Because at least within the first month of her taking over the office, should have had a meeting.
No, she didn't have a meeting with me. It was a meeting with everybody in one room, talking about the branch and what I was doing in the department in terms of overseeing IT, HR, and all of those things.
Yeah.
So it was. I've never been called to sit and have a one-on-one and just take her through to what we are doing, why we're doing these things, and how she can benefit from them, and all of that.
Let's go back to New York for a second. Do you think your troubles really started because of the New York, or it was fabricated that it's New York?
Remember, like I said to you, in the public domain,
That's what we know.
In New York. But maybe I did not know that there were problems up until that Friday, because I did not give her a reason to believe that I may not be the right person or I won't support her. And when she came the first day, because I'm the head of communication, when people are coming in, protocol was in my area, so we welcomed her, we showed her the things around the department and her office, all of those things.
Your department was leading that. Your division within the department was leading that orientation.
Yeah, orientation. It's security, it's communication, protocol, and all of those things.
Yeah.
And even the office was auxiliary services. They were all under me. So I had to do those things when she came in, and in doing those things, then remember, I'm not supporting ministers. I am there to be loyal to South Africans, and everything that I've been doing is my loyalty to South Africa, and I had no reason not to do what is right. But because of that mentality of camps, they come in, they play out there. So they would take you and put you aside, and it's okay.
Would they put you aside irrespective of the fact that your role is needed? Because you can put someone aside and create another one who does the same job.
Remember, there's a media liaison officer in the office of the minister. But that media liaison officer cannot do anything without the communications unit in the department.
Yeah.
Remember, the graphic designers are there, the media relations is there, the budget is there, events is there. So, which is why then Batabile had one person and not two people.
Yes.
Because I think she understood that would just be a waste of money. If we have this person here, they are already there. They can do both the jobs. So I've never given her that,
that you won't support, or
I won't support. I won't do the right thing.
Yes.
But it turned out, as I was talking to colleagues, that she's always had this thing at the back of her mind, or maybe it was something that she was being told,
What is, and I ask this that you may not be able to know, what are her politics in relation to Mebatabil?
Remember, she's the successor to her. Yes.
But she's no longer there, so there's no competition necessarily. I'm asking this in relation to maybe their ANC politics, which you may not necessarily know.
Yes, I'm saying I may not know the politics of the ANC, but Batabile lost the presidency of the ANC Women's League to her.
So meaning that the contest exists.
The contest exists, and I don't know where it comes from. But on the side of Batabile, there's one thing that she always told me. Every minister that comes there, you must know that she comes from the ANC. And she would be very disappointed if she were to hear that I did not support anyone,
an ANC minister.
Especially an ANC minister.
Got you. Who signed your letter of dismissal?
It was the DG.
Babu
Nechipal.
Yes. And there's an issue with regards to him, isn't it?
Yes, there is an issue.
What is it?
It's about his contract. And I think all of these things are just a sideshow.
Which things?
There's
You.
dismissal,
Yes.
everything. This is just sideshows. They are not the biggest thing.
What is the big thing?
The biggest thing is that Cabinet confirmed the appointment of the DG, but the Cabinet confirmed the appointment of the DG for 1 year.
Okay.
Came to the department, minister signed a 5-year contract. And that is a direct defiance of the president and the highest body of this country, Cabinet.
Yeah.
Yes. So what now is happening is that minister is just evading responsibility. Because, one, DPSA wrote to her the confirmation of the post and clearly writing to her, Dear Minister Dolash, and they say you must sign a contract and a performance agreement.
For how long?
They said 5 years.
Okay.
There. All right, that letter. But she was in Cabinet, was she not? She was in Cabinet at that point of seeing 5 years. What did she do?
She signed it. Am I correct?
Let's leave that.
Yeah.
This is now the receiving from another minister.
Okay.
You were at Cabinet. So you pick up the phone and say, Minister Buteles, I've got this thing from your people in the department. I see they've written 5 years.
But Cabinet said 1 year.
But Cabinet said 1 year.
Got you.
Do you know, have you seen all of that, you know?
Or can you correct?
Or can you, please correct it. Okay, that's chance number one. Chance number two is when supervisor, supervisee are sitting down. This is your contract, and this contract is going to be for 1 year. Because you were at Cabinet. DG was not at Cabinet.
And Cabinet said I should give you a 1 year contract.
And Cabinet said I should give you a 1 year contract. You go on and you sign yourself 5 years. You go on and you have 2 other people who are witnesses to the 5 years. See?
Is it a mistake?
It's not a mistake.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate and
No,
say
it's not a mistake.
maybe it was an oversight.
I want to believe that they had the gentleman's agreement with the DG. Yes, because I can't even explain the sudden change in this man that I've worked with more than 10 years, you know. That really baffles me.
So the gentleman you're referring to, the DG?
Is the DG.
Yes. Sudden change towards you say? Or in general?
And other things.
Okay.
And other things,
Okay.
you know. That was number 2, where minister could have rectified this. She did not. The DA sends a parliamentary question on the contract of the DG.
Okay.
They write there 5 years.
As a question?
As an answer.
Okay.
Because the DG is saying that the DA is asking how many years? What is the contract of the DG? We write 5 years.
Yes.
Send it to.
Which you're correct. Because the contract is 5 years.
Yes.
But it's an opportunity to correct. That's what you're saying.
It's an opportunity to correct.
Okay.
And it should, if you're in politics, it should click to you, Uguti, why are they interested? Remember, there are DA ministers there.
In Cabinet.
Yes. And my first inkling was that they are saying, go and check this thing if it was done according to what Cabinet said. We willingly write 5 years.
So you're saying they wouldn't have asked that question if they didn't have the answer to it?
Exactly.
They knew the answer.
They knew the answer. And which is now the route they are taking, that minister lied to Parliament.
Ooh.
You know. So there were at least 3 to 4 chances where she could have rectified this. But look at what is now playing. She fires the actual chief of staff, not the 22-year-old.
Yeah. We'll come to that because that's another...
Yes, another one, yes. The chief of staff. In the chief of staff's dismissal, they say that the relationship has broken down. But in her charges, they say she may have falsified the minister's signature.
In which document? The 5 years
In the contract document.
Oh, my daughter.
So that's another thing.
Essentially saying the DG was appointed
By chief of staff.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what she's saying. Not knowing that now she's implying so many things here.
You.
Then
Also implying that she was not aware of what's going on in her own department.
exactly. So she says that the chief of staff used illegally her signature, electronic signature, and so forth and so forth. Wow. So it means that even as when documents are sent to HR, she doesn't look at them.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around this niggling question. The minister in cabinet was told that appoint this gentleman for a year. She went on to appoint him for 5 years. The question that keeps coming up in my mind, and which I'm asking again, why was she doing that? What was informing her, one, saying, I don't care what cabinet has to say, I'm going to do what I want?
That's what she must answer for. Probably to the president now. I'm out now. I'm not working there, but that one is not going away.
It's going to hang around. This question.
It's going to hang around. Exactly that question is going to hang around.
Why did you give this guy
5 years?
Because one could argue, because the reason for the 1 year in my research speaks of his age.
Yes.
That he is 1 year away from retirement. Yes. But again, it also, there's a counter argument that says, well, but in his type of position, like presidents and ministers, he could be appointed even beyond his retirement age. Am I correct in making that observation?
But that's why these positions go to cabinet, so that cabinet can make a determination. That's why DDG posts and DG posts and CEO posts, they go to cabinet. And for cabinet to concur, so that all of these things that you are asking are taken care of at that level.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're saying this one of the 5 years, 1 year, it'll carry on for a while, even in Parliament.
It will.
Oh,
Definitely, because how do you defy cabinet? How do you defy the chairperson of cabinet, which is the president?
The president.
Yes. It will go out. She can stay, and maybe the president may not speak about it or not do anything about it. But I was listening to a TikTok of the parliamentarians of the DA, where they are questioning and asking all of these questions. They've made a video. Already, yes. I'll show it to you. Saying that minister lied to parliament. You see? So it's not going to go away. And she then went to the portfolio committee and said it was a clerical error. I don't know what a clerical error means, but now...
Somebody typed 5 instead of 1.
But now, why is she charging the DG?
If it was a clerical error.
If it was a clerical error.
You can charge a typist.
But why is she charging the DG now? Because the DG doesn't employ himself.
Let me understand, and probably this is my follow-up question, which you've already answered. What is she trying to do now to mitigate this challenge that she's facing?
She said there was a forensic investigation. They're doing a forensic investigation. I don't know the terms of reference to that. That's what they told Parliament. They also said the DG may have falsified, I don't know, gave himself 5 years. Because the letter does say, I told you. She said in the letter of the DG, she said, I told you that you were given a year by president, by cabinet. You went on to sign a 5-year contract. Who? With who? With whom did she sign? Did you sign the contract?
What is the letter to the DG? Is it a dismissal letter? Is it I'm aware of what's going on? Is it we are investigating? What is
charges?
Now charging the DG,
yes,
for giving himself 5 years.
Apparently,
oh,
with whomever. Maybe they colluded with the former chief of staff, or maybe the DG colluded with people at DPSA. I don't know.
I'm trying to also understand. From your perspective, having worked with this minister and other ministers, and having being an official of government for a while, what is your general observation of le nyaganyag?
You know, ministers have to sign a lot of things to approve. you must be able to have a sharp eye. You must be able to read and understand all the things that you are approving.
Or a sharp support system.
A sharp support system, yes. And if you don't read what you are signing for, you might find yourself in trouble. And I'm tempted to say she doesn't read. And she relies on people to run the office. And relies on the advisor to run the office.
Yeah.
So, because you would have picked it up. If you had read the letter that was addressed to you by the other minister of DPSA, you should have picked this up.
By DA?
By DA, you should have picked this up.
And I imagine a cabinet meeting would have minutes.
These are the minutes of cabinet that I think as well they were banking on that they would never be made public because those ones are top secret.
The minutes. However, you as a minister, because remember your answer started from not reading.
Yes.
There is the minutes
of cabinet.
Did you top secret minutes that are for you?
Did you read those minutes of cabinet?
Or were you even present in the meeting to understand that?
This is 1 year.
You stay 1 year.
So that's what the DA is saying. Where was she? Was she sleeping? Did you go to the bathroom? Was she sick? Was she not at cabinet? So that one is not going to go away.
Oh boy.
You can fire the DG. At some point, you have to account for defying cabinet. The minutes of cabinet are there now. They are everywhere. People have seen that cabinet said 1 year.
Is the DG fired as we speak?
No. He's not fired.
He has a letter of.
Yeah, he must reply. He must reply to that. Yes.
He's going through a similar situation as you.
Yes,
possibly replying to something he knows nothing about. But clearly the DG was happy to take a 5-year contract.
But let's give the DG the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Because he's the one who's being employed here. So you as an employer, what did you write in that contract?
If you give me 5 years, I'll take it.
But he was not in the meeting.
In the cabinet meeting?
He was not in the cabinet meeting. You were there. So let's now say he didn't know.
Yes.
As it should be.
He got an offer letter.
He got an offer letter.
And
it was announced in South Africa listening.
That you hired a DG, it's 5 years.
It's 5. No, they didn't say 5 years.
They
confirmed his appointment. So happy, all of us, clap hands, Merry Christmas.
We move.
But you, as the one who was in cabinet, should have looked into these things. And of course, I'm sure that there was a big debate for cabinet to be able to come to that 1 year contract.
Yes.
You see,
clearly for it to be a noted.
Yes. Yeah. So it may not. You would not have missed it because they were discussing you and your DG. You would have heard that, what did this minister say? What did that minister say? Was the ANC with me, or it was the DA that was on my side? And it then means that as consensus, they said 1 year.
Yeah, and in reality, something else happened. You use the word clumsy in your response to what's going on in your life.
Yeah, so I wrote on my Facebook, and I wrote what had just happened, and when I say clumsy, it may have been clumsy in that way, but I don't regret having told South Africans what has happened.
When did you tell it? What the clumsiness? When is it? Before or after the suspension?
After the suspension.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And everything that I've said there, they are rectifying. The 22-year-old is now on suspension.
Yeah.
That her CV was not correct.
We'll get to that. It's fascinating. I find it mind-blowing.
Yeah. So they are rectifying some of these things.
Yeah.
And there is nothing that I said that was untrue.
But then why do you still call your action clumsy?
Because I could have... I could maybe use a different medium.
Okay.
Yeah, I could have used a different language. I could have done so many things. But it was at the spur of the moment, you know. And this happened, and clearly I was very angry.
You were reacting.
Yeah. Because I've never seen the 6 million they are talking about. I've never signed for a 6 million. And that particular program has no funds to this day.
Lesedi Mabilecha, what is the story with the 22-year-old from your perspective? Because my research tells me that somebody knew what they were doing when they were appointing her. It was no mistake.
No, it was not a mistake. You see, the ministers have different posts where DPSA gives them a support officials.
For example?
PA, secretary, chief of staff, parliamentary liaison officer, advisors, aiders, and all of this, driver, messenger. And the DPSA prescribes at what level these people must be.
Education-wise.
Yeah. And she was to be the PA of the minister.
Okay.
And being the PA of the minister, it required a degree for you to be able to enter there. And the officials that were reporting to me did a spreadsheet on all the appointments in the office of the minister and the deputy minister. They say this person has got this qualification, they've got this, they've got that. And when it comes to Lesedi, for the PA position, there was an entire submission that was written by the HR colleagues.
But more substantial.
More substantial.
Okay.
Explaining that we have found that this person doesn't have a degree. She doesn't qualify for this position. But DG, you said we must carry on. See what I told you about authority and officials? These officials at HR, they know what authority is.
That's why they flagged it.
They wrote everything to the day there was a meeting. This was decided, who was present in the meeting. They list everything, very thorough.
Do you in them telling you the story, do you remember who was in the meeting?
The submission says there was the deputy minister was there, the head of office of the minister of the DG was there, the DG was there. Everyone, the chief of staff was there. They detail this.
And in that meeting, they discussed this young 22-year-old.
Yes.
As an important discussion.
As an important discussion.
My gosh. This is before she was appointed.
Yeah, before she was appointed. The colleagues then wrote a submission for the DG to approve this submission.
Whoa.
And they, in that detailed submission, they say the DG said we must continue. It's there. It's written.
Using what reason to justify the continuation?
I don't know. Maybe he was already told that the minister wants these ones.
It has to happen.
It has to happen. So the officials were actually protecting themselves, and I commend them for that. Big ups to them. They did the right thing. And it continued. It went to DPSA.
But DPSA is another checkpoint, isn't it?
It's another checkpoint.
Shouldn't DPSA also say, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Remember, the DPSA gives this to the accounting officer to make sure that these things are working.
Essentially, they give you the recipe. They give you the tools. They say you can appoint if Lomuntu doesn't have this. If you do it, you'll answer.
Because you are the accounting officer.
Got you.
Yes.
Which is why it went ahead.
That's why it went ahead, because the accounting officer said it can go away, And
in this regard, the accounting officer is the DG.
Yes. So they detailed this, and she was appointed as a PA of the minister. All right. Then these things start, and the chief of staff is moved first to another entity of the department.
Old chief of staff.
The old chief of staff.
The one we found here.
No, not the one we found here. The one who came with the minister as well.
Ah, okay.
Yes, but she qualified and she was the chief of staff.
Okay.
But then was moved. There's so many.
For whatever reason.
There's so many things that happened in just a space of less than 2 months.
Yeah.
So they put the PA in the who was not qualifying even for the PA post.
Yeah.
And they gave her the chief of staff
Which
post.
naturally the chief of staff post would require way more higher qualifications.
Yes. Yeah. So,
Can I ask this? They put it officially, or it was one of those, Ageko, you can sit there for now? Was it official that you are now the chief of staff?
Yes, it was sent. There was an entire announcement to staff members that now she is the one who's going to act here. But the thing is that she is the niece to the advisor of the minister.
I wanted to understand why were they fast-tracking this young girl's career to her own detriment, because those are not small positions.
It's not small positions. And I think because also she's young, she was posting her uncle. You know, she was writing on Facebook that she's the world's coolest uncle, praising him on Facebook, and maybe thinking that these things will not be found, or because really she's a baby, you know, so she would do such things because you can't be blatant like that. And on the other side, the mother was also posting about her brother, you know.
Yes, the uncle to this one.
Yes, yeah. So that's the story on her. And listen to this one now. They are saying that the chief of staff went on and falsified the CV of Lesedi, and she went on and appointed her.
The chief of staff that was moved.
Yes, but chiefs of staff, they don't appoint people. Remember, the submission is signed by the DG as approval. The DG signs the appointment letters.
And it's there on record.
It's there on record. He signed for the appointment letter.
Unless, again, they say it's a falsified signature.
Yeah, I don't know. The DG has not. So these are the things that we are dealing with here.
Here's another confusion in my head. And such things puzzle me because I'm a practical person. I'm trying to understand. How is it that it's obvious that a 22-year-old with no work experience, with no qualifications, gets fast-tracked officially and no one thinks anyone will see this?
But the HR colleagues did see it.
Well, yes, they did. But then the people that are doing it, it's almost like, how can someone just walk into my house and my camera, they think no one is ever going to see them?
I don't know.
And we are home.
I don't know.
I'm trying to understand, how is it that the minister, the advisor to the minister, the DG, they all let this happen, and yet they knew it was wrong?
Maybe they thought they could get away with it.
How?
I don't know.
What were the staff members saying while all this was happening? Because clearly, we talk.
No, remember, I was not there now when this thing came out.
Oh, yes.
So I would not know what the staff members are saying now.
Because it's one of those, we've been here for so long, some of us have been applied for the same positions. And they become our bosses.
I don't know. I don't know what is being said.
What is the role of a chief of staff?
They're the head of the minister's office. So they are the people who are in between stakeholders and the minister. They run the office of the minister. You know,
it's not a small job.
It's not a small job. You must be able to think strategically. You must be able to advise the minister properly in terms of who to meet and not to meet. So you are a very important person in the office of the minister.
What kind of experience is important in that type of role?
Yeah, they require, I think they say NQF level 7, I think so, which is a degree, and at least a few years, not just a few years, because it's at a chief director level. I think they said they wanted 5 years or so experience in senior management, and there's a lot of things that are there that for the chief of staff to have.
Yeah, there's also, in my research also, there's a Ngwaku scenario. Who is Ngwaku? Is it Ngwaku Khatla?
Yes. Ngwaku is the uncle to Lesedi.
Oh, he's the...
Yes, and he is the advisor to the minister.
And those are appointed ministers bring their own. I remember,
Advisor.
remember with the times of Van Rooyen when he became minister, was an advisor. So they are appointed. Minister comes with their entourage, so to speak. Yes.
But there are also prescriptions to that as well. You can't just bring people. Because remember, we're saying we're professionalizing the public service. So it can't be just anyone. Yes, it can be your choice, but there are certain things that person must have. So you would have seen that there were also messages that were reported about by the Daily Maverick on an alleged romantic relationship between the minister and the advisor. I don't know, and that's where it is. But him as well. He came with charges from the Department of Women. Remember, Minister was coming from the Department of Women. Yeah. And those charges relate to him double-dipping in getting a salary from one of government entities while he was drawing a salary in at the Department of Women. Yeah. So when then they were when they were changed to another department, yeah. So it followed him. I also then, because by virtue of being a DDG Corporate Support Services, which this fell on, I got that from the Department of Women, and we were supposed then to move with it and continue with a disciplinary hearing. Yes. I told the minister in December last year that I've received this, and me have received this, I would like to have a word with her because it's quite sensitive. That's what I said in the meeting, in the message. And she said, no, the DG and herself are on it.
They are aware.
They are aware. They are taking care of it.
Yeah.
And for me, that was also the first red flag, because it can't be the DG who's dealing with this. It has to be the HR colleagues, because of the labor relations process that must happen there. And the Department of Women is expecting us to act on it. I also told the DG the same thing, and I also advised on that. Yeah. And it was something then that was on their side, up until the City Press got hold of it. And I think because I worked for City Press, they think that I gave it to City Press. But it had been with us since December. City Press published in June.
Which is a long time.
It was a long time. And it was then now we were able to see what's going on, and there's an explanation about it. We are yet to hear when is the charge going to come to him, if it ever will come. But it looks like that it's not going to happen.
And it carried on.
I don't know.
But as you said, something like that will not just go away.
It can't go away.
It'll hang around you.
It will hang around you, and you as a minister, it will hang around you.
Yeah.
Yes. At some point, you'll have to answer for it.
What do you think is likely to happen? We all South Africans, we have theories. Is likely to happen to this situation, said the minister, with these 22-year-old, you getting fired now. The DG, his DG or her DG now has charges. Clearly, this will carry on. What do you think is likely to happen in the long run?
I don't know what is likely to happen.
What do you wish to happen?
I don't wish for anything. I just wish for justice to prevail.
Yeah.
And also, people must be accountable, and the right people must be made to account. There's no way in hell that a chief of staff can appoint a person in the minister's office.
No.
I don't know what this forensic investigation they're talking about, and I hope whoever is doing it will also understand that they have a reputation, and they are in business, and whatever they may have, they find, they must be able to make people to account. So we will still hear from Parliament in terms of whether Minister misled Parliament or not, and that process is its own process of overseeing the work of the department and the ministry.
Do you feel that sometimes officials fall on the sword here ministers who are there for relatively short period. And they end up just their careers end up just suffering because they are trying so hard, one, either to please or to just, in inverted commas, do their jobs.
Yeah, that's why I felt the need to address that in my letter. Is that it is something that we need to always guard against. It's always something that we need to look at, and that the right thing must always happen. Yeah. Do
you leak information to journalists?
I've been in that department for more than 10 years. And I don't have a reason to leak information to people. I don't have a reason to do that. And even though I am in the space of journalists all the time, we know the boundaries, you know. We really do know the boundaries.
Yeah.
And we may joke about things, but they also know that there are things that I can and or can't do.
How has this affected you on a personal level? Well, the suspension, it's not a fun thing to go through, and now the dismissal.
Maybe I have not seen exactly what has happened. Is that I think again I've been very busy, you know, and it's time for me to reflect now, and it's time for me to slow down. It's time for me to think about the next step. It's time for me maybe to do the things I've always wanted to do, and I couldn't be able to do them because, you know, there was always pressure of something that's happening in the department, and it's time to have fun, you know.
Really?
Yeah, time to have fun. Yes. Because
you feel there's a load off your shoulders a little bit.
There is a load off my shoulders a little bit,
yeah.
And I can be able to choose what I want to do now, and that's the main thing that I am concerned about now, and also just to make sure that my name is cleared.
Yeah.
Yes, because that particular side, it has to still go through the conciliation and arbitration process, and that's the only thing that I care about now.
You are pretty open to speaking publicly. You find people in your position who are likely to say, let's wait until it goes to hearing. Why have you taken that route?
I have not gone into detail about the charges. I've just related what transpired. And I believe that we've become so muted about things that we see that are supposed to be going out, that are supposed to be corrected, and I think now it's a thing that's happening, that people get tired.
There's a Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi
energy. I don't think it's a Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi energy. I think people are starting to see that it can be done.
Yes.
Yes, and that it can be done. All these things can be rectified if just one of us just says something.
Just be brave.
Yeah, I don't even think it's about bravery. It's about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what we need to start doing.
Yeah.
That's what we need to start also making sure that the ministers, when they come in, they are briefed properly. They understand that if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, this will happen. So yeah.
In hindsight, is there anything you would have done differently?
No. I don't think that there should have been anything that I should have done differently. And when people are hell-bent on doing things, you need to also speak for yourself.
Yeah.
And you tell your side of the story, and you bring documents, and people can read the documents for themselves, so that bring the evidence. Show us that, what is this, you know?
There's a, listen to you speak, the word whistleblower comes to mind, but I'm not entirely sure that that's even the correct phrase to use. Would you use the word whistleblower in relation to to what you've gone through in the past few months in your department?
I was forced to. Yeah, I was forced to because funny thing that you asked, that when the state security came to the department, I told them all of these things that are happening. I actually did say, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. As you're doing your vetting and your security clearance, please note that 1, 2, 3, 4 is making me uneasy.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think it's a different process with the state security because maybe they've done their thing, and unfortunately even those, I don't think they would be made public. But I did flag them with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were aware. Yeah.
Already before this whole thing happened.
And you didn't necessarily raise it from a perspective of a whistleblower.
I was alerting them.
Yeah.
There are these things that are happening, and what they do with the information, at least I told someone.
Okay.
Yeah, who is in the security cluster for that matter.
Yeah.
You know. And I went into detail with them. I gave them documents as well on the things that I was very uneasy about. And as they're gonna try and do whatever they are doing, this thing must be at the top of their heads, because we had a long discussion with that lady from state security.
Do you what type of feeling do you have emotionally, in relation to really your reality?
I don't think
Ngezulu ugrand.
No, I'm fine.
Ugrand.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Or maybe because it's just happened. I'm fine. Indlala siyayazi. Sikhule kuyo.
It's not new.
It's not new.
Yeah.
And I'm a mother. I'll have to do the things that are important for my children.
Yeah.
I will have to make sure that things must be done and things must happen,
Of course.
And they're not going to be waiting for me.
Falupande.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you're a mother. There's an article in the news about you discovering that you're a mother to a child that you know nothing about.
Hey, the very next piece that they're talking about, that said there was a 6 million. That system
discovered a child
that
you have.
Yes. And
that you've never given birth to.
Yes. And that's the system that I'm talking about. I'm glad that you picked this up. And as we were doing this work with the colleagues in IT, I was fascinated by what was coming out of there.
Because it's able to put your name and then tell your story.
Yeah. That's why I say to you that if we get the IT or social development, this country would go very far. So they put in my ID.
As a test?
As a test.
Yo.
They're checking everything, went to school, your children, they're linked to Home Affairs. And then there's a third child.
Boom.
You see? And we may have not looked at it seriously. Suppose something happens to me and I died, and then there's a child that is there. My estate, we claim estate, yeah. So that's the system, because the colleagues were linked to Home Affairs, they were linked to basic education, they were linked to NSFAS, they were linked to SASA. So they were doing this. And that was discovered. And then I spoke to my colleagues at Home Affairs that I don't know this person.
And was it a young child or?
No. They were a few months apart with my older son.
So you had a child in June, and then 2 months later you had another child.
Yes. So
wow.
It was that actually made me very interested in this thing, and I felt that it is important that parliamentarians must know about this and the beautiful work that can be done at social development.
How did you overcome that? Because you clearly had to deal with it.
Yeah, no, I had to deal with that. I just called my colleagues and I said, please see that there's this thing I don't know. and I had to just write something for them, and yeah.
So now, if you were to use the same system and put your ID, will that child still appear?
No, I checked. The child is not there anymore.
But you realize that if you are going through it, then ordinary people are also going through the same thing.
This is what I was saying, that if we get that IT right, or social development, and that very niche piece and that they're not funding, we would be far as a country, because it would be able to tell us even when children are pregnant. It would tell us when they drop out of school, when they die. It's a beautiful, and also eventually all the citizens of the country, they would be able to know your story just by clicking your ID number.
Incredible. You can do it yourself.
Yes.
Watching a video of what is now a department that has fired you, there's a lot of actors. Ungathi SAPC or Mzansi Magic.
No, we fixed that.
Okay.
That was also on my table.
Okay.
Because when the minister came in, there was virtually no executive. There was no CFO, there was no DDG Welfare Services, there was no DG, DDG Community Development. There was a lot of people who were not in there. And that was one of the things that I had to make sure they happen. And starting the processes and advertising and doing all of those things. And now we do have a DG. We don't know whether the CFO, the chief of staff, signed the contract, or the minister.
Yes.
But yeah, those positions were filled. Yeah.
Were there issues at all with regards to SASSA CEO?
You see, let me go back to the previous SASSA CEO. I note the things that had happened, and I'll pick up the modus operandi of the minister. This minister.
Yeah.
Find anything on this person, so that we can be able to say that we are suspending her and we are investigating. And she was also suspended, and she had a few months to the end of her contract. And she was suspended allegedly for her own contract, and because the public protector was now investigating this complaint.
Got you.
Yes, she left. All right, the public protector exonerated her. That it was not her fault. She did not appoint herself, and blah blah blah. So that is. But already she was suspended, and she was at home, and now she has to fight for her name. Then there was the acting CEO, who is now CEO. So I detailed this as well, and I think I gave you also the evidence of these things.
Yeah.
I was acting as corporate support services DDG. So any appointment, any acting is supposed to come via me. I must make my own notes so that these things can happen. So the DG sends a submission to me to counter offer for the current CEO of SASSA not to go to Gauteng as the head of Gauteng, Department of Gauteng. And at that time, I was not even trying to stop them. I was trying to say, do it right. Don't make it so obvious. Write the things, because when somebody picks this up, they must be able to say this process was great. So I get a submission on a SASSA letterhead.
Okay.
Initiated by the DG.
On a SASSA letterhead.
On a SASSA letterhead. And so
that
now,
stands out, by the way, the SASSA letterhead.
That stands out.
Yes.
That stands out, and I said to, what is this? I scribbled on that thing, because I was just, in my head, I was thinking, how can you be so stupid? How can you do this to yourself? Even if you are under pressure, there are things that are needed, but do them right. Yeah. Don't make them so obvious. So they wrote, the DG did the submission, and then upon doing that submission, I was to support that submission, and then he was going to support his own submission.
Yeah.
Behind me, after me, it was going to be him, and then the minister. And I was actually very mad, and I started writing on that submission. And it also was that the CEO was taking a lower salary than what HOD Gauteng was giving them.
Okay.
And I said to them, can I also have the letter from the Premier of Gauteng? Let me see all the things that you say are happening here. Let me see the counter offer. Let me see all of these things before I sign.
Because you're claiming them.
Yes.
So you must substantiate with documentation.
The thing is that my name was going to be there. You see, even if the DG had not picked it, was being silly, didn't see anything wrong, but the fact that it goes to a next person, it says that you must also have a responsibility to make sure that things are right. So it stops here. So I then tell the DG, why? Why do you can't initiate a submission that you are going to support again, and you can't be the initiator of the submission. It must come from an HR official. And when you are sending it to me, please put all the documents, because I'm about to sign on this thing. And the way you have written this thing, it looks like there's a predetermination of the appointment of the new one, that he must stay for a lower salary than Zoksota.
Pretty much almost like fabricating the Gauteng story.
Yes.
That it doesn't really exist, but that's the story we are telling.
Yes. So I say to him, I phone him actually. I say to him, Gandindoda, what is this? Yeah. Don't do this to yourself. Do things correctly. Yes. And I was not actually on opposite sides with him. I wasn't. But I was just correcting that. Don't say that there is no one at DSD and SASA who can be acting CEO. Don't say, don't initiate a submission. Let's do things right.
How did he react?
Yeah, and she said, no, Lumka, you are right, you are right, you are right, you are right.
Yeah.
And I had already written things on the submission, and I was, you can see the scribbles on that submission, that I had a lot of questions, you know. This is not supposed to be done like this. Write the submission properly. Because suppose this thing is audited and they say, you said people were not, there were no people who could act. But there are so many DDGs at social development.
That's it.
There are so many DDGs at SASA
that are available to take this job.
To act.
Yes.
To act.
Yeah.
Then rotate them, or let him go to Gauteng, if anything.
Hang on, there's someone at the gate.
Then if you want him to come back, then that process must happen on its own. I was basically trying to say, we are all going to be in trouble if we don't do things right, because these things eventually have a way of coming out.
I want to conclude with these notes, and because you've worked for this department so long, you know how it works. The Auditor General says, with a large budget of approximately 294 billion for the year 2025-26, governance and delivery is described as sliding backwards. What do you say to that?
So those findings of the Auditor General, firstly, the DG should not be there.
What do you mean by that?
I was suspended for mismanagement.
Oh yes.
So
well,
what is he doing there when the Auditor General says they've regressed? When the Auditor General is saying that we are paying ghost grants? When the Auditor General says in everything that we are doing, we are regressing.
Yes.
Why is he there? Number one, he should not be there.
As in, he's not doing his job.
That is what the Auditor General is saying.
That is his deliverables.
That's the Auditor General is saying, that they are regressing in everything, and it pains me that we can have such a thing, because that department is a very important department. And I keep on saying that if we get that department right, most of the problems of this country may just be fine. That department deals with more than 13 million every month, delivering grants to people, and that are a lifeline for people. Imagine if then we were doing this right, and also we did not move the payment of grants out of communities. Imagine the money that would circulate in communities, which used to circulate in communities.
That's it, yes.
Right now, we have really pushed it
Out.
to the same people. We have pushed even the banking side of it, because Postbank is not able to do this, and clearly it has not been able to do it. And we are giving it to private banks just for existing, for their cash, just for fees, and actually that's part of my thesis. so you are, and people are moved to town. They go to town and they withdraw the money. After the withdrawal, they spend it there. So it means it goes to the same people. It goes to Boxer, it goes to Pick and Pay, it goes to ShopRite, and if you look, it's the same people that this money is going to, and the benefit and the beneficiary gets least out of this budget.
That is true.
You said 294 billion. 94 billion.
Yeah.
So, if you were to follow the money,
you'd say that it goes to majority private sector.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I want to talk about that because my thesis is about that. I did it in Matatiele. It was my case study in this village in Matatiele. And so I'm getting goosebumps. I stayed in Matatiele for about 2 years, just trying to study how this money goes and where it goes. And I got some really beautiful stories from people in that area. That village that I was in, it used to have about 3 shops in the village. Those shops have closed down.
Oh no!
Because the money has gone out. And there's a guy from Ethiopia that I interviewed, and he says that when the grants were being paid in the village, he used to at least make 20,000 a day.
What?
Because they were not going out, they would come and buy.
Yes. They buy
from
I
him.
remember my grandma would fetch the money and buy immediately before she gets home.
Because she gets home.
Yes.
Yes. So and also, I spoke to the taxi drivers there, and the 2 taxi drivers in that area. And I would take the taxi with them, and just to hear what are the conversations in the taxi about this, and also what they said. And even the one that I spoke to, he was saying to me, I'm very saddened that people must wake up at 4:00 and must go and queue outside, and there's no other lifeline. And the Ethiopian guy that I was talking to at the village, he prays that there'll be load shedding there, they'll be there so that they come back to him.
Yes.
And they won't get their money, they'll come back to him so that they can take on credit.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the reality. And I also saw how creative people are to try and follow this money. So there was a lady that I spoke to. Her job is to just look after the groceries of the grannies, because sometimes a granny would buy the groceries and then she'd want to go and chill at KFC or anywhere.
Yes.
So she would sit there solely
to look after
the groceries, and she charges them 30 rand for looking after them. So now people have also had to be creative around this money, because they know that there's money to be made, but it's a little money. And on that particular day that I went there, it was raining, and things like the rain can affect people's lives.
Absolutely.
And she was saying to me, they're not going to buy groceries, because if kuyanetha, it means the flour yabo bazofika seyingekho, so they're not going to buy today. Because it's raining.
They go home.
They'll go home and come back. Or they won't come back, because now they would have had their money. They would buy from the Ethiopian guy who is now praying that they don't get anything. And I was also fascinated by how the taxi drivers were charging for the groceries that the grannies are coming.
So they charge you and they charge for your groceries.
They charge you and they charge you for the groceries, and they've got different prices for 20 kg sugar and all of that. So I'm trying to paint a picture that says there's power in that department. There's power to change the economic situation for people, however small it may be.
Yeah.
Because there is that lady who's looking after these groceries, and she is there 30 rand to look after them. So if she has even 1 or 3, she would at least have 90 rand, she would
Which buys something for her family.
Her family, and she's appreciative, and she leaves the village to go to do just this work.
Incredible.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, if we don't understand that department and its power, it deals with substance abuse, it deals with all of those things, and the data that is there, we should be looking at it with a very sharp eye, because it tells a story. Yeah. At this moment, we only look at social development as the grants department.
That's it. Yeah, it's SASA. Yeah. It's SASA.
And it's unfortunate that each and every minister that comes as well, it's the easiest to do things to try and foil and check SASA. Yes, the most difficult work is what is being done by the programs of the department. There's community development there, things that we should be in communities to be able to see how do we develop these communities. Wow. And that's the unfortunate part of things, that these things are elevated, and there's a beautiful stories that come out of there. It is fulfilling to work there.
You speak with so much passion, and you're fired. I say this, let me conclude my thought. I see you, and I think you will continue to play a role in that space, whether you like it or not, because clearly you're absorbed by it so much. Am I correct in making that assessment?
Probably, but I say it is fulfilling to work there, because you see the change.
Yeah.
And there's beautiful stories that come out of there. And how people interpret policy, you see. And I've grown to learn, for instance, gender-based violence. I would never forget the day when we went to Lusikisiki and we're listening to the parents about pregnancy and reporting rape and statutory rape. This one guy says, you keep on saying report. So report akubani? Because here, reporting means reporting to the other family that bamithisile la.
That's reporting.
That's reporting.
Yeah.
Or reporting to the chief. That's reporting. And you have to be sharp to understand that communities are different. And when you are talking in English, Lumka, as a communicator, yes, and reporting, you must be able to say, you must report to the police.
That it's a crime has been committed.
That has been committed.
You realize the beginning is the misunderstanding of the crime itself.
Itself, let alone the terminology.
Yes.
You see? And that's why I say that maybe it's the time had come for me to look at something else.
You realize that at its core, it's a communications issue as well.
Yes.
And it's real, the core of the problem. Is that abantu abazi,
because we are speaking in English. And then I remember very fondly when we went to fetch children in Brazil. Their mothers were trafficking drugs.
Yes.
You know, they got arrested in another country.
Now there are kids in jail.
Prison, and we have to bring them back. You know, when I say it's fulfilling in that way.
Yeah.
That, this particular story, the mothers were twins. And we went to fetch the baby in Brazil, leaving the other twin, the mother. The child was crying all the way from Sao Paulo to South Africa. And they are identical twins.
Yes.
and Minister Dlamini was holding the child. The child saw the twin of the mother. The child jumped to the because he was thinking that is his mother.
Mom.
And at some point, because I think he was looking for the breast, he then realized, but no, man, I'm being played here. This is not my mother.
Wow.
This is not my mother. So
what a story, eh?
So I hold those beautiful memories that no one can be able to erase. Recently, we went to Mauritius to fetch another 7-year-old whose mother was trafficking drugs, and the different laws in other countries as compared to ours. In Brazil, you can't be in. I think they've got a few months before they can integrate the child with their, to be able to stay with the mother in jail. So we had to go and fetch the child. But in Mauritius, they could stay until they are 7 years old with their mothers
in jail. Yeah.
And they actually the child grows and they go to school and they do that. Whereas here we do it up to 2 years. Is it 2 years? Yes, I think it's 2 years. Yeah. And this beautiful girl was 7 years old, we had been used to taking babies. Now we took an older one, a 7-year-old one, And the beauty about what the Mauritians were doing, they would let the child speak to the grandmother in South Africa, so that she can
the
be
language
able to
as well. Yeah,
she can be able to be to familiarize herself with the granny as soon as she comes to South Africa, and those stories
they're never told.
You go to DSD TV, you'll see the stories.
I know.
Yeah, there are. I did.
Busy with other things.
Yes,
TikTok.
So and there's a reason for me to say we need to have this DSD TV.
Yeah.
Because number one, we can't afford communication. Communication is very expensive.
That's true.
And it's costed in minutes and seconds, and who is on the radio at that time on TV.
That's it.
And you had to be
creative,
yes. Because right here is what you have done. You have your own podcast, and you can be able to do this, and you tell stories of people. So it can be done. It was something that is similar to this, so that we can have our own, where we can tell stories without somebody thinking that we are lying or taking bits of it and telling their own things. So we had to be creative in that way, and we used to pay in 2022, between 2020 and 2022, about 29 million. That platform, it decreased that amount to less than $1 million.
What?
Because now,
did you have to hire internal staff?
What we did
for production?
For production, we would then, that was a part that we outsourced as part of the communication staff.
Okay, got you.
But the airtime, it was free.
It's your airtime.
It's our airtime. It is there. It will stay there for years, and you will be able to go onto it. And you're like, okay, this is what the Department of Social Development does.
The good and the bad. Because what I saw last night, it's like, whoa, this is not all good stories.
That's why on the platform, yes. Not that it's not good stories, it's real stories of people.
That's true.
Sure you would have seen one on children in conflict with the law, that a 12-year-old raped another one.
Essentially, maybe what I mean is that you're not painting a glorious picture. You're painting the real picture.
I'm painting the real picture, and also at the same time what intervention could do. Because I remember going to one of our centers where we keep children in conflict with the law. There was a girl who killed her own child, suffocated the child to death.
Wow.
And there was one who had raped her neighbor. So these are stories of children who are committing crime, and the beauty that rehabilitation can be able to do, which is why I was passionate about as well making sure that the records are expunged, because there's a lot of good work that is done on these children. You see the difference. They own up to their wrongdoing, but they tell you that social worker so and so assisted me with this, and now I understand how wrong it was, and I want to make something better of my life.
I remember, and as we conclude, there's a parliamentary hearing where one of the members of parliament said, Tina, my constituency has never seen a social worker. We exist in a world where we don't even know such a thing exists. Yes. Clearly, there's a lot more work.
There is a lot of more work, but the budget of the department is mainly going to grants. And I think this is the shift that also Treasury is pushing for. That it cannot be that all the 13 million children on that database, all their parents can't afford, which is important for the integration of systems.
That's it. Yeah.
So that we can be able to check these mothers and these fathers who come to apply, that are they not working? Because if the systems are integrated, when a mother comes to and I say mother because the majority of people who collect the grant are mothers, or let me say caregiver, comes to apply for the grant, we would be able to check them at Justice to check if the father is not paying maintenance.
That's it.
We could be able to check them at SARS to be able to see is there no tax something here. Check them at Trade and Industry at the CPIC if they're not doing any business. Yes, registered any business, which was also what the Auditor General picked up, that there are some people who are drawing a grant, but they run a business. And that was why I was so passionate about that program, to say it has to be done so that we are able to look at these things and look at them with a very sharp eye, so that and I used to say, imagine all of those children who are in their grants, if the fathers were to pay that money that government is paying.
Half that money will be spent on other things, on a social thing, a social worker in Molechi.
Yes, in exactly, because we don't have enough social workers in the country, and yet
we need probably double the number.
Maybe let me rephrase that. It's not that we don't have enough social workers. We have not been able to absorb the ones that were trained by the department. So it is those things that I say, if we get the social development right, we would not need so many police, because there are more policemen than there are social workers.
I know.
Yet, if we're able to
preventative measure,
and make sure that there's enough social workers, we would maybe not need so many policemen around. I don't know, but
I wish you well, man, in whatever decision you make. You're speaking of a thesis, so is this is active now?
No, I'm done.
You're done with it,
I'm graduating in December.
Look at that.
Yes.
In the middle of all this turmoil.
I don't even think it's a turmoil.
To us, it looks like it.
No, I'm out of the turmoil.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm out of the turmoil. There are things that they must still answer to South Africans. The 3 million was not me.
Or 6 million.
Or 6 million was not
3 million is the trip to New York. Yes.
And also, I didn't contract a DJ for 5 years when Cabinet said 1 year.
Yeah.
I didn't appoint a person who is not qualified. Those are still on the table.
Yeah, so you're saying no turmoil?
On my side, it's just making sure that I move in the right spaces and I think clearly about what I want. And I've got time to do that. And the turmoil there is still going to happen. They're still going to have to go and answer to Parliament. Your
letter of dismissal says you did not respond.
Yes, this is what I say. That's why I was explaining to you about this process that they were doing.
The parallel process. Yeah.
I don't know where that letter that was charging me went to. I've never seen that letter, nor have my lawyers have seen that letter. So where did that letter go to is another thing and who signed for it? So I'm just trying. I'm assuming that if they say they left it at my house,
And it wasn't, you did not respond. They're saying, we send you a letter, you did not respond.
but who signed for that letter? And okay, let me say I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they did come to my place and left it with security, because they would not have, gotten entry to the
house.
Yes,
Yeah.
and let alone
Okay.
where I stay. So security guards change after shifts.
Yeah.
Yes, it might have been there. They didn't give it to me, or another one forgot. I don't know what happened. So they still need to tell us, where did they send that letter? Why did they not email it to me and to my lawyers? So I would not have responded to something that I did not see. I was seeing this for the first time on Friday for me to start doing mitigation. So whatever the plan that they were doing in order for me to get a dismissal. So it was planned in that way.
You think it worked?
It worked.
This plan?
Yeah.
Because, so you're saying it could have been deliberate that you don't get the letter. So as a result, you don't respond.
But also they don't only stop there. When they send me the letter that I must mitigate for not responding, it is brought on the day that I ought to have responded.
So, which is unusual, isn't it?
It's unusual. It was signed on the 14th, by the way, but it was delivered to me on the 17th, on the day that I was supposed to make these submissions to the DG.
So, when we told our minds, it's already a rush.
I was not going to be able to respond.
And who are you
to
responding to? Because the person who you're responding to now had his own letter.
It's the 20th. The 20th is tomorrow. We will see his response.
Because he's meant to respond.
He's meant to respond to his own charges. Or maybe the charges will fall away because now I'm out of the picture. But they still have to go to Parliament and speak about what they agreed on that contract.
Do you think the Parliamentary Committee on Social Development is strong enough to see through the rigmarole?
No, I think there are some members who are seeing it and who are vocal. As I said now, the DA made a video on it, pointing out what's happening and reading all the things that have been happening. So that's why I'm saying it's not going to go away.
Yeah,
it's another process that must happen, and they must respond to it.
I wish you well. Don't worry, you'll start the podcast.
Thanks.
Take care, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time. We're recording this on an unusual Sunday morning, so
it's fine.
and I feel bad that we took your time, but thank you again.
King David Studio Podcast.